I have started a new job where I get paid 90% of my salary within 5 months. How do I go about planning for this without running out of money before my pay kicks in again? What would you do in this unique situation?
Well, okay, so 90% pay inside of 5 months. That's unique, right? Like not a lot of folks, not a lot of vocations allow that to happen, but there are a lot of folks out there that have like very sporadic and inconsistent income streams. And it does pose a very real problem for folks trying to figure, okay, well, how do I budget? Or these guys say that I'm supposed to be saving 25% of my gross income, but my gross income varies month to month or pay cycle to pay cycle. How do I do this well? How do I think about this well? And frankly, I think that people that are in this kind of situation, Brian, it's even a little bit, it's harder for them. It's harder than just the normal W-2 employee who gets the same paycheck every single pay cycle for an entire year. So as you've worked with folks in the past who've had like sporadic income streams like this, how have you told them how to tackle normalizing their cash flow?
Yeah, when I saw this question, I immediately wanted to jump onto Google, type in KC NFL, because yes, in the past I've worked with NFL players, and it was quite unique in the fact that they got the majority of their money during the NFL season. Mm-hmm. And for one of the primary things we did for those clients is trying to set up a budget, mm-hmm. and then once we set up the budget, then determining how we structure the portfolio so that, because all that money came in at once, but yet you've got 12 months of expenses, even though the income's coming in 5 months. So you batch the income coming in, you create the budget for the expenses, and then you just need to structure a cash management plan where at the first of each month or the 15th, the client determines or you determine when you need that money to hit. You have a transfer from your savings/investment accounts of cash direct deposited right into your banking account that you use to pay bills. Now, the key component of this, though, Bo, is discipline.
That's right.
Is because I'll tell you, if you think about it, if you get paid all your money in 5 months, now maybe this is a big bonus. I will say that if somebody has some long-term incentive options or some other thing like that. But if I was going off the scenario of somebody who's earning this based upon the work they do, the problem I had with my NFL players is off-season, they're somewhat bored. Mm-hmm. They train, and that's back to the discipline, is that whatever you set up in the budget, be realistic, stick to it, and then don't, make sure that you're not going too far off of the plan, because the thing I always worry about is 5 months out of 12 of the income, you have to make sure that you don't go outside of the lines too often, or this whole thing falls apart.
Yeah, I think I would be a proponent in terms of setting this up. Again, behavioral finance becomes so key here. I would think about how you could gamify and outsmart the system. I'm going to use some really round numbers here. Let's say that your annual income is $50,000, and I'm only doing this because I can do the math in my head and on the calculator that I have in front of me. Your annual income is $50,000, but it's going to come in $10,000 a month for 5 months. You cannot live as though your income is $10,000 a month. What you have to do, you have to take $50,000 a year, divide that by 12, and so it turns into about $4,100 a month. So if it's me, what I'm going to do is every time one of those paychecks hit, I'm going to put it in a separate account. I'm going to put it over here in a high yield savings account sitting there. And then every month from that savings account, I'm going to have $41 hit my checking account. And I'm going to budget off of that, and I'm going to live off of that, and I'm going to save off of that. And I'm going to pretend like my income is only $4,100 a month. And what it's going to allow me to do is not let my eyes get bigger than my wallet. And that $10,000 comes in, and I live like I make $10,000. And then I'm going to have 7 months out of the year where no income is coming in, and I'm in sort of like an position. So I think if you have to set some sort of system up like that to protect yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. And then just like anything else in personal finance or in life, the muscle memory will set in. Once you've done this for a year, 2, 3 years, then it'll just become a natural cadence in terms of how your cash flow works, even though it doesn't flow in like nice, even systematic chunks.
That's why I think automation is your friend. Structure as much of this to be, systematic and automatic, meaning you're paying the bills automatically, you're doing the savings and the transfers to different accounts automatically, and just make sure you're sticking to the budget. And then I like having the separate accounts, meaning have the paycheck go into the account that is not the account that you pay all the bills or do your living expenses
right.
out of. So that way you have separation. So you're doing exactly what Bo said. You're turning the 5 months of income into 12 months of transfers that feels like your monthly paycheck is actually X versus being that 5 lump sum, much bigger, twofold of what you normally get paid.
Yep.